So we're live again. Today's episode we're going to be talking about new comics I bought. Talk about the Jim Lee taking over as solo publisher of DC Comics. And anything that really comes to mind, really. Also, we're going to be reviewing new wireless Bluetooth headphones called 2 Boom, which I will say this in honest opinion, do not use them while you're driving. So anyway, let's play the intro, shall we? My computer's on slow today and my phone just went off. Anyway, I went to V-Stock because I forgot to go there when I went to Half Price Books. A ton of books at half price.
Tell I haven't been there.
Because like a ton of Batman books there, and I was just like, Augustus Gloop from Willy Wonka. I was just digging through there, man. I highly recommend V-Stock for anybody who is into comics, who is looking for. They're not the sponsor of the show, by the way. I'm not just gonna be like shilling out things. Like I said, like the 2 Boom thing, I recommend do not using them while you drive, because they don't fucking work. They don't hold up. While you're in the car and shit, like it does not work at all.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
they're good headphones, like if you're in the home and stuff, like if you're cleaning or doing dishes and you're listening to like Audible, which I don't have a monthly subscription to Audible. I just had a free book credit and that was it. Like I ended up getting Batman Nightwalker.
I love
the novel. I love the graphic novel. And I love the Audible book. It's not like Harry Potter when it first came out. Like Stephen Fry did the Harry Potter narration, which was fucking good because he did like different voices. He got really into the character. The Nightwalker one, it's a good, like, the person who narrated it sounds like something from Gotham, which isn't a bad thing. It's just I wish with the Audible book, like they had like different voice actors and actresses doing different characters and stuff. But I mean, that's just me. Like those serial radio shows they used to do with Superman and stuff. But sadly, they don't do that. So, um, anyway, like the Tube Boom, which is great headphones, I got them for like $15 at Half Price Books. I saw them there. I was just like, I really want to try it. I had the extra money. I really want to try it and see what it's like and stuff. And it's not bad. It's very easy to connect to Bluetooth and stuff. But the thing about it is, sorry, I had to burp. The thing about it is, like, it doesn't work when you're driving. When you're driving somewhere, you're talking to somebody on the phone. It doesn't really work. It just, you lose signal and all of a sudden you're echoing. You're like talking really loudly like you're a dumbass. And you realize, oh shit, I'm not hooked up to the Bluetooth. So, I like them. Like I said, I recommend them when you're at home, when you're like cleaning, working out, doing sit-ups. You don't have to have like a long headphone cord while you're trying to do sit-ups and stuff. These are great. They're like iPhone earbuds. They fit in your ear. They don't cause any annoyance. So I do recommend these things. I mean, when you're, like I said, like when you're cleaning, working out, when you're driving, it does not work. Or when you're in the store, it does not work. So, I mean, I don't know what it is. I guess it's like a weak signal, which I don't know how it is. My phone is like, I'm holding my phone when I'm texting and listening to Audible. Like I'm trying to avoid people.
So they're great. They're great earbuds, especially for workouts. So anyway, they're great. Anyway, I do recommend price for anyone who's into like looking for back issue books. If you're looking for back issue books and stuff, that is your place to go. If you're looking for trade paperbacks for a reasonable price or manga comics, they have a lot of those. And stuff like I seen like a big ass Funko Pop up there. Like I said, I have not been buying comics for a while, and it's been a while since I've been to Half Price Books. Last time I was gonna go, but I ended up getting really sick and I had to take antibiotics. And like I said, I didn't feel like going up there and farting and shitting my pants, going anywhere. So I was a homebody because I was taking antibiotics and shit. So anyway, I went up to a Half Price Book because I wanted to see what was there, and I found the Tube Boom thing, and I found these cool like Joker playing cards, and I found a bunch of books, which was the main goal of shopping at Half Price. So anyway, I'm going to start off with the big book I found.
Damned, the Black Label book that was pulled off. Nudity, which I don't know why. There's nudity on Game of Thrones. There's
comic book. No.
I mean, even in Watchmen they had it, which I don't understand. Watchmen was fucking boring, to be quite honest with you. I was Batman Damned, which was by Brian Azzarello, who did Joker, he did Joker, he did the Dark Knight 3 Master Race with Frank Miller, which I talked about before, I think, which I said like the book was more of an Azzarello fan project than it was a Miller comic, which, I flipped through the book. The ending is like, I see why it's titled Damned, because it's like, once you get to the ending, you're like, damn, is that it? It's really, the artwork's really great. Bogino does really great art. Very realistic looking. Very Alex Ross ish. He really gets like the dark look of a human being down. He gets like the really realistic like shadow, like the realistic look of a dark side of a human being. Like he somehow captures it, and I really like the artwork. The writing was, it's Azzarello. Azzarello is always dark and cynical at times, but I like the Bergimo artwork. I like the artwork. I like the realistic look of, I would love to see Bergimo work with Jeff Johns in a book or something like, it's or Scott Snyder, but Snyder and Capullo are like the O'Neill and Adams of comics. So, Batman Damned it's really okay, I guess. I bought it because it's one of those talked about books and stuff, and I don't understand why people freaked out over it. Of stuff, of the first book, I really don't understand it. I think they hyped it up, and I'm putting my conspiracy Alex Jones hat on. I think they just did it just to get the book name out there, because I'll be honest with you, the story is kind of boring, in my opinion. I think that's why they just did it, because the writing is kind of, I feel like it should have been more of a Constantine book than a Batman book. I feel like Batman was there, but the other characters were like important, like Deadman, Constantine, Zatanna, Spectre, Swamp Thing. I think that's what it was. More like, it's Batman, but the other characters are more important and stuff. So for me, it's, if you like Brian Azzarello and you like Bergimo's artwork, which I recommend buying it just for Bergimo's artwork. I like the one thing that came with the book, which was sort of like a drawing. It came with the same thing that was with Batman 75, which I got for Christmas. It's it's really cool. It's Batman leaping off a gargoyle going into this Gotham City. It's a very beautiful drawing and stuff, and I wish Kojima could autograph it. And stuff, so that's the thing I like about it. The Joker thing is just, spoiler alert, he's at the end of the book. So anyway, I bought some Detective Comics, and for those who don't know, I am trying to collect them all. I'm trying to be like Pokemon, trying to collect them all. I bought some Chuck Dixon run of Detective Comics. 670, 671, 677. I got a Starman comic because when I was a kid, I love Jack Knight's Starman comics when I was a kid. It was always a great throwback for, like, I have some of them. I had like the first 10 issues of it, then I started like finding them more and more, and I was just like, it took me back to 12-year-old Josh, where I'm just like, I fucking love Starman. I want to see a TV show of it. I want to see him in Smallville. This is awesome. I'm like, man, this is just crazy. So I found him at a flea market, like most of Starman comics. So anyway, back to Detective Comics. 671, 77. 673, 668, 669, Batman 666, scary. A Batman 504 with Catwoman on the cover, which I love. Kelly Jones, the cover. New 52 Batman 33, which is part of the Zero year, or Year Zero, I forget. So those were the books I found at half price. I had to stop in at V-Stock. I got a coupon for stuff. So I decided to cash in on my coupon, and I grabbed a few things. I had like 2 coupons I didn't get to use. One was expiring, one I just got. So I decided to use both. I got Detective Comics 1020 and Catwoman 20 bags and boards, and I found a cool kick-ass T-shirt of Doomsday Clock from DC, and why not? It was Batman on the cover reading Rorschach's journal, which was really cool. So that was the thing I found. I kind of went a little wild finding all these stuff, but the thing is, a lot of these books, a lot of these detective comics and stuff I found are like $1. Sometimes you find stuff on there. Like they have the 50 cent bin of comics. They have the dollar comics, $3 comics. Stuff like that. That's the thing I look for. I always go for the smart stuff. I always look thoroughly. I always try to find stuff. Sometimes you can find it for $1. Sometimes you can find it for 50 cents. Depending on your luck. I do recommend half price. You can always find some really cool, interesting things. Really, it's funny though, because it's like not a lot of people go into comics. I am one of those people that I just have to find everything to see what they got, and I found some good comics. I love Chuck Dixon's run. A lot of the comics I named off are part of Nightfall and Nightquest and Nightsend. When Batman had his back broken by Bane, which I have that issue. It was a really big deal back then, and it kind of became like the crazy thing for DC, because at the time they broke Batman's back, Superman died, and that was crazy insanity that they had going. So
I know Amazon's.
Some people like me only have Amazon as an option. I know it.
I know one thing that's insane with
countries like bookstores that much. I mean, England does, but if you live in Germany, find it, which because it's the same way for me at times. I'd like drive all the way up to like St. Louis County to get comics and stuff, which is insane because where in a small area I live, they don't have comic book stores, which sucks. And stuff. I know people go on Amazon, to go on eBay to find stuff, which isn't a bad thing because when you go on there, you find stuff and it's shipped to you quickly if you're a member of Amazon Prime, which I'm not. Which I. Anyway. Yeah. So I'm trying to think. What else did I did mention that. I'm trying to think. My mind at the end of February was kind of crazy because my mind was just sort of like, So, anyway, I did try something. I did find a Smart Water cucumber lime, which I tried. It's not bad. Anyway, drinking cucumber lime water. So, anyway, yeah, my mind was just kind of like tired. Yeah, so I'm reading a question.
Oh, what was the story you? Oh, hold on. This is a question. What was the story you wrote about on Discord about hearing a voice? Yeah, that one's kind of. For those who don't know, last week was kind of insane. And stuff. So Friday was the most insane day, and I'm not gonna say what would happen, what it was about. I was so tired of family drama and stuff, and I was just so tired and stuff, and I didn't get to sleep till like 2:30, 2:35. And so throughout all this thing, like my mind is sort of like always going nonstop. And for those who don't know, I have anxiety and stuff. And once you have anxiety, you can't sleep. Lack of sleep. And your mind's going. Some things can happen. And I was texting, talking, stuff. And voice say my name. It said Joshua, which, for those who don't know, nobody ever calls me Joshua because
simply. I don't know why, because I guess I'm not holy. So, what's the point? And stuff. So, and so, it kind of...
Yeah, the funniest thing about it, there's a funny part to it.
God, does he have schizophrenia? And no, I don't. So, I forget what it was called. I looked it up on Google and stuff. Let me look it up real quick. I wrote, "Is it normal to hear voices when you're having anxiety or something?" And the expert says, stress and worry you may hear voices while you're feeling very stressed, anxious, or worried. Mental health problems, you may hear voices as a symptoms of mental health issues, which I don't know why, but some people, it's called verbal hallucinations, as it's called. Verbal hallucinations associates with feelings of anxiety, which may also suggest that anxiety somehow triggers them. In paper, we often hear physiological or personal level account of how it does so. We also show anxious. So yeah, it's basically called verbal hallucinations. I know some people.
Oh my God, is your house haunted? Like my sister, I called my sister up.
When I heard someone saying Josh, I was like, "What the fuck was that?" And I
get up and I look, and I think it's like in one bedroom. My dog Lilo is just laying there, going like, looking at me like, and looking over, like looking back at me like,
what? So I go outside
on my porch,
and I'm calling my sister, and all of a sudden, like my cat farm, the cats I feed, who, I adopted, more like they adopted me, or just looking at me. And the one cat who I named Alfred is just looking at me, going like, looking at the food bowl, looking at me, and going like, "Where's my food, bitch? What are you?"
like,
and stuff. So I'm sitting there and calling my sister. I'm like, she's like, "Hello." I'm like, "You need to get over here. I just heard a voice in the house. I need you here right now." And all of a sudden, my sister shows up. And I love how my sister shows up. She shows up. She makes like an entrance, like something out of a Joe Pesci film. She shows up in her van, chucks a cigarette out the window of her car, gets out of the car, grabs her pocket knife. I'm like, "What are you going to do? You're going to stab a ghost or something? You're going to shank it or something? Like, what are you doing?" She goes, "I'm making sure there's nobody in the house." I locked the doors. This isn't Canada. No offense, Canada. This isn't Canada. When I'm in the house, it's on lockdown. There's no one coming in and no one going out. My sister goes in the house with her pocket knife. And my sister is the one who I always said is like Dwight Schrute meets Deadpool. She has guns. She has knives. If there's a zombie apocalypse, I'm going to her house. So
she goes in the house, looking around.
Knife. And I'm just standing there And I'm going like, I wish I could record this right now. So
she's going around. So she's going in every bedroom of the house with her pocket knife, saying, if there's anybody in the house, you need to get out or you're going to regret it. I'm like, I'm standing there holding my phone, looking at my sister, and like,
so
and so she goes, and I was also messaging my Uncle Terry, checking up on him as well. So and I'm just like, I was like, no one's going to come here and haunt us because I'm boring. I'm a very boring person to be around. Even the spirits be like, it's just better to go to the light. That's how it is. So my sister goes, the same thing happened to me. I'm like, what? I was like, what ghost would haunt you? God. This is like one of the Winchester people. That's what they're going to do. So, if you hear it again, tell them to get out of the house. You got the Lord Jesus with you. I'm like, okay. And she goes, I have to use the bathroom. And I was just like, I didn't need to know that part. Anyway, that's what happened. Like, do I believe in ghosts? Verbal
end of February. So anyway.
Oh, my voice is getting glitchy. Shit. Does anybody hear? Sorry about that.
I was getting something.
My throat was getting dry. So. That's what happened.
With that crazy.
Can you hear me now? So. Anyway. I'm getting a drink of water. Yeah. I know you're here. I know you're all here, but I was just asking if there's anybody in the room.
So.
Anyway. No, I'm just. So, anyway. That's what happened. That's the crazy thing about it. So far, anyway, I did have to mention it. When I did go
Detective Comics 1020, I did mention that 1018 and 1019 were kind of boring. 1020 of Detective Comics is Batman taking on Two-Face. And I will say this version of Two-Face in Detective Comics 1020 is by far a better looking of Two-Face. This version of Two-Face looks mean. He looks nasty. He is crude. He's vicious. That is the version of Two-Face I like.
And he's also highly intelligent. Like, I would say this, Peter J. writes Two-Face better than Tom King. I always felt like...
I know Tom is a great writer. He does write some great stuff. And Two-Face was just sort of put in the
background. Like, I just felt like Two-Face was dumbed down. He's not smart. He's not cunning. He's not twisted and stuff. And I felt like Tom King just sort of dumbed down Two-Face. I mean, why would Two-Face hang out with, I'm trying to remember, Professor Pig, I think it was, like when Batman took over, started fighting back.
It's just like, why would Two-Face hang out with
Like that? Two-Face would be plotting everything in his...
how to take part of the city of Bane from, the Gotham City from Bane. Because Two-Face is about power and corruption and, all that. Sort of dumbed down Two-Face. I always felt like King sort of did that. And this version of Two-Face, I'm happy that Peter J is taking on. I think Two-Face isn't in the James Tynions, or Tynion. I think it's Tynion. James Tynion's Batman comic so far.
I know it's all about Joker.
The new villain, the new girlfriend that everybody is just crazy over. I was at not find Batman 89 or Batman 90. They didn't have any of those. They had 87 and 88. If they did, I wouldn't probably buy it because it's just sort of like, I don't really care. I know that sounds mean. I really don't care. Like, I'm buying like Detective Comics just waiting for Batman Catwoman to be released. That's pretty much where I am at this moment. I have nothing against Tynion's run on Batman. It's, it's just kind of how it is. Like, So, I mean, like, I have nothing against it. So, anyway, let's talk about Jim Lee and stuff, company. People are asking, where is, DC Comics going? At this moment, like, I know Jim Lee sort of wrote on Twitter. He was asked about the reboot. Is DC Comics going into reboot? With the new 5G and stuff. Everything's just BS. It's fake news. There's no 5G or reboot, which I guess kind of means that Dan Didio's Dan Didio's idea of the 5G, fifth generation or generation 5, as they call it, is not around anymore. So Jim Lee was asked about DC Comics, about, he denied the bizarre rumors that DC Comics would be closed or sold off. While he claims to live to be 140, which would make him the oldest person ever news around. Of course, George R. Martin transcribed the panel. Here's the thing about it. People would just put this entire idea, conspiracy, rumors, and all that about DC Comics being sold off by AT&T. Why do you think AT&T bought DC, bought Warner Brothers stuff, the Warner Media and all that? They bought it because Warner Media has an excellent library of catalogs and stuff that they have. DC Comics happens to be one of them, and what do you think is the centerpiece of DC Comics? Batman. Batman's the iconic character, the most iconic character in history of media. I mean, shit, Batman is, I think, older than Mickey Mouse at this point. Let's look it up. See how old Mickey Mouse is. Well, no, Mickey's kind of gotten a few years older than Batman. So, I think 10 years. So, Batman is basically the centerpiece of DC Comics. Why would AT&T be that stupid to sell off DC Comics and stuff. The only way I think that can happen for for DC to be closed off would be they would close off their print. They would not sell print comics or stuff. I mean, trade paperback is, of course, I think would be the way they would go. And also, AT&T has been making lots of money over the years. I mean, operating income is like, well, here's the revenue for AT&T. $181.756 billion. I don't think they would be selling off DC Comics or Warner Brothers just for that. They're going to be making a lot of money. I mean, think about it. Joker at the box office made $1 billion. It became the highest grossing rated R movie in history. Batman, of course, is coming back, which I will talk about later because Ben Affleck, of course, announced that he will never back to be. I was kind of like at the I was kind of like at the 5 stages of grief. Now I'm going back to stage number 4. But I kind of see his point of why he probably won't come back as Batman. But anyway, Jim Lee, of course, said that DC Comics isn't being rebooted. It's not being sold off. It's not closing down. It's going to be right here, around for a long time. And here's the thing about it.
They always kick down,
like you kick a horse while it's down, or kick a person while it's down, or something. I think that's what it is. DC Comics is at that point of being rebooted itself. Dan Didio, who's been the co-publisher for DC Comics for over a decade and more, well, I think 2 decades, I guess. I don't remember, but he's been in charge of DC for a long time. And they're at that point where they're rebooting, they're restarting, because you lost somebody who was a big part of DC Comics. Dan Didio, good or bad, he's been around. And they're at that point where they're rebooting everything, they're restarting everything. They're going in a new direction, the ship is turning. DC is at that point where that's where they're going. They're going to go in a different direction. And people are freaking the fuck out because it's like, they're going to hit the iceberg.
Really? I mean,
Dan Didio was putting the ship into the iceberg. All of a sudden, Didio is gone, which everybody wanted Didio gone. Now they're going to hit the iceberg. Didio's gone, DC's going down. It's like, enough. Fucking enough. Fine. They're going to be around for a long time. Nobody is going to go in the market buying DC Comics. And there's always been that stupid, shitty rumor of Disney's going to buy DC Comics. It's like, not really. Disney bought a lot of shit. And they're trying to make money back now because the Star Wars theme park
bombed. Nobody.
Everyone was at the bar, basically, because I guess they were drinking because they realized how much money they spent into it. And there was nothing open. And plus, nobody's going to pay $200 for tickets to go to a fucking theme park with a cast on a mouse greeting you. If I had to go to Disneyland, and mind you, 2 people going to Disneyland would be $400 plus tax. I would cry if I spent $400. I mean, that's basically 2 bills right there. I would cry if I had to spend $400 to go to fucking Disneyland. Who has that money to go to Disneyland? I would, like, mind you, $400 at Disneyland. That is an entire fun trip at Six Flags right there. $400, you could get 4 season passes right there, or 4 tickets right there, or go to Dollywood, the Dolly Parton theme park, which I kind of want to go now. But it's just like people need to like stop freaking out over it. So anyway,
Also, DC Comics head Jim Lee also refers to DCEU movie universe by an unofficial title. Jim Lee, co-publisher of DC Comics, to Warner Brothers movie universe by its title DCEU at a convention appearance. Anyway, that was something. Let's talk about one thing that's kind of interesting that caught my attention. Was something fun. Punisher star is eyed for the Gotham by Gaslight movie. Reported by We Got This Covered. The Punisher star reported to play Batman in the Gotham by Gaslight movie adaptation. John Bernthal, who played the Punisher for the Punisher TV series, eyed to play Bruce Wayne Batman in the Gotham by Gaslight movie, which I am interested in seeing Gotham by Gaslight as a live action movie, but there's a lot of people I kind of want to see play Batman, Bruce Wayne in it, like, and stuff, but
recently brought the news possible Gotham by Gaslight movie. We're now hearing already having an actor in mind to play the Dark Knight, according to our sources. The same ones who told us that Kevin Conroy would be suiting up Batman in Kingdom Come, Batman and the Crisis on Infinite Earths. That's kind of a stretch to say like he was suiting up. Basically, the suit, and he wore this stupid ass gear thing that he was suiting up as Batman. It's a far stretch to like say like that. Plus, he'd be skinny. There's no way he could play Batman. He was a skinny Batman. It's revealed had his back up. If it was Kevin Conroy, he'd be in a wheelchair. Just saying. He's skinny. Right? He's a very skinny, thin person. He would have gotten broken like a toothpick. So, also saying that National Treasure 3 is in development. I cannot wait. Nicolas Cage is coming back to be in National Treasure 3. That is going to be awesome. WB is considering Punisher star John Bernthal, who also played Shane in The Walking Dead.
Does anybody ever watch Walking Dead? I fucking love the first 2 seasons of Walking Dead. Season 3 was kind of iffy. Like, Season 4
Michonne and the show. I kind of was like, alright, I'm done. I mean, like, once they got rid of, like, I remember Bernthal and the guy who developed the show, Walking Dead. They were in, they did another show for TNT, and it was really, really good show. It was like one of those shows that it kind of reminded me of
LOA.
It kind of reminded me of that. And
a really good show, but
what was that show, man? I forget. I know it was.
It only lasted, I think, like
one season because it was just. I think it was like the most expensive show that was ever produced for TNT, which says a lot because TNT really don't have much to watch. What was it? Mob City. That's it. Mob City did a noir crime drama by Frank Davenport for TNT. It was based on real accounts of LAPD and gangsters in the 1940s. Based on LA Noir, the struggle for the soul in America's most seductive city. It debuted on, it only had shows, which sucked that it was like. And the weird thing about it, they canceled the show after one season, and they never released it on DVD or Blu-ray. Never released it in LA never released it in the US on DVD and Blu-ray, which really aggravated me because it was like a really good show. And it was like one of those, like, I love those crime stories and stuff. Like, it sucked that it never, got released. Through the show did not find commercial success, TNT chief person Michael Wright defended the decision to greenlit the show in 2014 in an interview, commenting, "Mob City was a chance. It didn't draw the audience, but I would do it again tomorrow." But anyway, it was a good show. It had like a really good cast. It had Berthel, Neil McDuff, who is an awesome actor. Like, I think one of the best actors. Like, if they ever do
With Gotham by Gaslight, I would say Neil McDuff should play Jim Gordon. Because that dude is a good fucking actor. Like, he
in any role. Alexa DeVos, I think that's her name. She was in the show Angel. For the 4th season, she was in Clash of the Titans, The Man in the High Castle, which is also a good show, by the way, which ended, sadly, after 4 seasons. It was a really great show. It was like, it's based on a really good book, based on a book called The Man in the High Castle by Philip K. Dick. It's a really good book. I enjoy it. It's an alternative history type show where the Axis power wins World War II, and it's a really interesting show and stuff. Jeremy Luke was in it, and let's see, Simon Pegg was in it for like 2 episodes. So, and already, so anyway, it was a good show, Mob City and all that. I would say I recommended to look for it on DVD, but it's not out. They have never released it on DVD and Blu-ray. It's not even on like Netflix or Hulu or anything. Like, if they would say like it's going to be on like HBO Max, then I would probably get it just to watch those episodes. Yeah. Anyway, John Berthel is considered for the role in the Cape Crusader. It was reported yesterday that WB are expanding the success of Joker by producing more standalone Elseworlds movies featuring some of the most unusual takes on well-known characters. While the Joker wasn't strictly an Elseworlds story, but apparent that Batman Gotham by Gaslight would be adapted by one of the most famous alternative takes on Dark Knight, where Batman reimagined 19th century taking on Jack the Ripper. There was a 20 version of Gotham by Gaslight, with Bruce Greenwood taking the voice of Batman Bruce Wayne, also played in other DC animated films. Yeah, he also did Batman and Young Justice. Yeah, so Berthel would be an intriguing choice to play Batman through his given experience by playing Frank Castle on The Punisher. He's already shown his credentials as an action hero, vigilante, tortured character dealing with death of his loved ones, and also in Walking Dead, who was batshit crazy. Like, he was really a stand-up. He played a piece of shit person in Walking Dead, but he was really good in it. Like, I was so happy that Rick shot him in the head when he turned into
I was so happy.
Like, Shane, piece of shit in Walking Dead. Like, he, like, I'll admit he protected Rick from being attacked by the walkers while Rick was in a coma. But him telling his wife and son that Rick's dead, relationships with Rick's wife, and possibly being the father. Sorry, not the father, but Rick was the dad of the baby, of course. But when he said that, and they all moved on and stuff by saying, "Oh, Rick died, he's dead," and all that, like he was a piece of shit. like I remember Rick showing up with the camp and all that. It was more like they were all stunned. I would have been like, "Surprise, motherfucker!" Like that's what I would have done. Then I would have killed Shane. like it was like that was just like, man. Anyway, I mean, like I'll admit, like Shane did start a good group. But man, like that show was like a roller coaster of emotions. Like the ending of the first season was like, damn. I mean, it was kind of a dumb ending when you look back on it, but damn, that was a good ending though. Like they were trying to get to I forget, like the CDC, I think, like somewhere they were trying to get, and the guy was like, and he dropped like the truth bomb. Like he dropped it, I was like, oh shit. Where he was like, "You're all infected." I was like, oh my god. That means like if one of them gets like wounded or dies, they come back from the dead and they have to kill that person. I mean, it happened like with in Walking Dead, the Telltale series, where he had to kill Duck. I mean, Doug was annoying, but that little kid did not deserve it. Like I remember, like you had to like choose either let the parents kill Duck or you would do it for them so they would not go through the pain and suffering. And my character, I made the choice of like I would kill the kid. I didn't want to, because I mean like I like Kenny. Kenny was awesome and stuff. So I didn't want Kenny to do it. So I had to do it. And I remember I did that, and after the episode ended, I had to like turn off the game and question my moral choices in life. Because that was a fucking tough one. Like that game, like Telltale, man, they did a great job with Walking Dead and stuff. Like, I mean, they did a brilliant job and stuff. And I remember the Asian dude was in it. Was in the Telltale video game and stuff. Glenn, I think that was his name, Glenn. Glenn was in it, and Glenn took off after the one episode and stuff. Like he was a pizza delivery dude. So Glenn was in like one episode, and next thing you know, like after you had to leave the hotel, after you had to fight everybody, and you had to deal with the old man who was a dipshit and his crazy daughter, Glenn takes off, and I was just like, well, I guess you're going to go to the TV show. See you later, dude. like, like it was just like that show, like that video game was just awesome. Like I haven't played it. I haven't like I played the first 2 seasons of it, then I just sort of like was like, all right, I'm done. Like I was zombied out. I was done. But anyway, like the comic, I can't believe the comic book ended. I thought the comic book honestly would outlast the TV show. I honestly thought like Robert Kirkman would, I thought he would write The Walking Dead, comics to like the end of time. Like I thought he would write it for so long until like the zombie apocalypse itself happens. That's where I thought it would be. But no, like Kirkman ended it, which I'm glad he did. I'm glad he ended it on his own terms instead of like people getting tired of it and saying like, you need to end it. And he's like, all right, I'll end it. And that's it. I'm glad he ended it. Like the way he ended it was more like, this is the end for now. Maybe later down the road I'll bring it back I honestly think that's kind of how Kirkman did it. I think like one day Walking Dead comics will return one day. But I think now it's just like this is the end for now. We'll be back later, type of thing. And I'm glad, you know. As for the movie though, like the movie, I've heard about the movie Walking Dead and stuff. Yeah, let's see this question. Did you watch the one with Negan in it? I did. I did. Um, I still have no interest in like watching it again. Like I don't have any interest in watching The Walking Dead. I don't know, maybe one day. I'll watch the first season of it, but now for like 10 seasons, I'm just like, nah, I'm good. I know they do. I know they have like spin-offs now. I know they're doing like yeah, Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead. Now they got a new one called Walking Dead World Beyond, which is kind of a dumb title. I'm sorry. It is a dumb title.
Series set
10 years after the apocalypse, the first two young female protagonists focuses on the first generation to come to age in the apocalypse as we know it. Some will become heroes, some will become villains. In the end, all of them will be changed forever. Grow up and cement their identities, both good and bad.
I hate the title of it. Walking Dead World Beyond. That sounds like a stupid name. I'm sorry. Let's see. I know they were talking about doing it with Andrew Lincoln coming back as Rick for the movie. I don't know what to think. Like, Rick died.
He died. I don't even know how they're gonna do the movie. Maybe it'll be like set like maybe it'll be like retelling of the show or something of Rick. And
For
it's gonna be like a faithful to Robert Kirkman's adaptation, you know, faithful to Kirkman's work or something. I don't know. It's kind of like for me, it's just like I'd probably watch the movie to be quite honest with you. But I mean, honestly, like I really don't know what to think. But I mean, I'll probably watch it like whenever it comes out, whenever do it. So anyway, but as for the Batman Gotham by Gaslight, I definitely want to see it. I really want to see it. Um, if they do like cast like Gordon and stuff, like I already have like the people in mind who I want to see play Gordon and Harvey Dent and all that. I was gonna say Two Face, but Harvey Dent. For me, I want to see, of course, Catwoman. I want to see, man, what's her name? Um, the actress who played in the Game of Thrones, the one who played the Dragon Queen. I forget her name. The blonde chick. I kind of want to see her play Catwoman. Selena Kyle in it. I want to see Luke Evans play Harvey Dent. I think he could play a good Harvey Dent. Clive Owen as Jim Gordon, of course. Clive Owen's like always my choice. To, like if there's ever, I still think they should have cast him as Gordon in the Batman movie because Clive Owen's really great. The show The Nick. I don't know if anybody's ever seen The Nick or Children of Men or any other stuff that he was in. He's a really good actor. Like he is. Emile Clark's. I think that's her name. My neighbor's yelling. So I mean,
like Clive
would be great.
Gordon.
It aggravated me that they got what's his name? I honestly don't remember his name that much because he's just like he's one of those actors like yeah he's in that one. Oh, that's that one dude. Um, see, I don't even remember his name. It's like like I can remember the one dude from Gotham because he was in that one show, The OC. But Gary Oldman and stuff. But what's that dude's name? Shit. Why couldn't they just get Denzel Washington to play Gordon? I'm trying to remember that dude's name. I know he usually is like pops up on the radar because he always like tweets stupid shit, but calling everybody bootlickers or something like and stuff, but
Jeffrey Wright. Yeah. See, I don't even remember his name. This one's interesting. This one popped up as well when I just typed in the Batman. Robert Pattinson recalls his cringeworthy Harry Potter premiere outfit. I don't even remember the This one's kind of interesting as well to pop up right here. Johnny Depp is reportedly eyed to play the Joker in the Batman trilogy. Johnny Depp has been rumored for the Joker throughout most of his career prior to Heath Ledger's announcement of being the Dark Knight's clown prince of crime. Depp was reportedly a fan favorite for the part, along with Adrian Brody. Now it seems like this decade's old bit of fan casting, but with Viola Davis returning for Suicide Squad, Transformers being rebooted, and having Warner Brothers begun eyeing actors for roles for the sequels for the Batman, Depp is one of the prime candidates for the Joker. The fact that he's even being considered for the part perhaps is a sign of his recent career troubles might be coming to an end, along with his legal battle with Amber Heard and all that stuff. Given his previous performances as Centric, the Joker would seem a natural fit for him, perhaps even some combination of his villainy and the Grindelwald and the Fantastic Beasts, combined with his wild unpredictability of Jack Sparrow. I kind of see him playing the Joker. Like, I mean, Johnny Depp is always perfect for that kind of role of the Joker and stuff. And I, for one, would love to see him play the Joker. Because you need somebody
that can work off of Robert Pattinson. You need somebody that has that, fire to it.
And you need, you need big names to it. Like, you got
Colin Farrell as the Penguin.
Great choice.
You got, you haven't gotten that, so. But you got Paul Dano as Riddler.
I mean, a guy who can hold his own against Daniel Day-Lewis. That's where I was like, Paul Dano's perfect. Because I know a lot of people talk about his Beach Boys bio,
which I have not. I think I've seen it. It's been a while since I've seen a lot of films, but John Cusack was in it. So
I remember his performance in Little Miss.
And There Will Be Blood. There Will Be Blood was a standout. I mean, he in Little Miss Sunshine, he did not say one line towards the end of the movie, but lines until the big was
colorblind and he couldn't go into the Air Force and stuff to fly jets and all that. But There Will Be Blood was a standout. He played two different characters in that movie. He played twins. Literally two different people. One was a conniving business man and the other was a preacher. So he played
two different characters, which made, Daniel Day-Lewis. And Daniel Day-Lewis is like on the same level as like Christian Bale. Like, gets into the character, you see this person become something totally different. Paul Dano held his own, which for me, I'm happy with Riddler, because Riddler is like one of the to be Riddler I like, because he's always on. He could be sane and highly intelligent, but he can also snap and stuff. But he's also good with puzzles, and he knows how to trap people into things that they don't want to be in. Paul Dano can really do great. Heath Ledger.
Unique.
You know, on his own, but compliments to what Robert Pattinson's doing in the film, but also Chris Cooper too, as Norman died in like aggravating. Chris Cooper is like actors that, oddly enough, he could play. Like he could play a very serious. I know a lot of people say like I'm kind of harsh to say that, like I don't like Jeffrey Wright as Gordon. If you ever read his tweets, like that dude is fucking crazy. Like that dude will tweet and like just run everybody. Your voice is getting. Can you hear me perfectly? I don't know. I'm not even moving or anything. It's probably the ghost. Hold on, let me fix it. How's that? I'm gonna try. I know.
Hold on, I'm gonna try something different. I'm gonna try the Is it better? Fixed? No, it's good now. All right. Yeah. Anyway, I was saying like, cast Chris Cooper as Gordon is like beyond me. Like I really want to see him play Gordon. I think he would be phenomenal. But anyway, yeah. So, trying to figure out what else to talk about. Who would you? Wait, this is a question. Who would you want to see play?
Play Harvey Dent and Robert Pattinson's Batman.
Oddly,
I think Luke Evans. I think Luke Evans would be great as Harvey Dent. I don't know why. I always thought Luke Evans would be great. as Harvey Dent. I mean, for me, like,
Here's the weird thing about it. Like, people probably don't realize this, but there was never really a good adaptation of Two-Face ever done in the big screen. I mean, yeah, I know a lot of people are like Aaron Eckhart, Dark Knight, but honestly, like, have you ever seen a really true good performance throughout a film of Harvey Dent, Two-Face? And you can't say, I know Tommy Lee Jones always comes up, and I love Tommy Lee Jones in films. Ty Cobb, I think, is one of his best films he's ever done. I know a lot of people love The Fugitive, which The Fugitive is really great, but Ty Cobb, he gives everything he has into that film. But we never got to see a true, real, phenomenal performance of Two-Face ever in the film. Like, you never got to see, like, the thing about The Dark Knight, and I know a lot of people love The Dark Knight, and it's sacrilegious to say anything bad about The Dark Knight, but for me, like, I was so disappointed that they didn't do Harvey Dent, Two-Face, in the third film. I was so aggravated that they never, like, I finally was so excited to see Two-Face in the film and stuff, and then he dies at the end, which was, I remember just sitting there going, like, and the thing about it was, like, I was so into the movie, like, I was so,
and I was just so aggravated that they didn't, like, save Two-Face for, like, the third for a, like that film where, like, it both left glitchy again. It's probably my computer's acting up. I've been a great month. Let me fix the sound thing.
let's go to stereo mix.
How's that? Is it fixed? Alright, I put it on stereo mix. So, anyway, let's try not to fuck up the show. But anyway, the ending for it was so perfect. It was a perfect ending for The Dark Knight. It both left the door open for a sequel, or this was just the end for The Dark Knight. So I had to fix it. I had to put it on stereo mix. So anyway, it was a great ending for The Dark Knight stuff. So anyway, the thing that's pretty interesting for issue 20 of Catwoman, I did flip through it, by the way. She is in her purple cat suit, which was pretty cool for me. I thought it was really cool. But anyway, yeah, it was kind of interesting looking for Catwoman. So anyway, let's get to other crazy news. I'm watching Everybody Loves Raymond. I don't know why. It's the one. By the way, it's the episode where Robert and Amy gets married. It's a funny episode. Who's the mom sort of interrupts the wedding. So. Anyway. So anyway. I'm going through the Phantoms and Monsters to see what's to read. I have not been on the website for a while. One thing I've kind of noticed with these stories and stuff, they feel like more like a campfire type story. Like all you hear is like you hear these stories and you don't really see much. That's the thing about it that sort of makes me question the true story and stuff is. Well, this one came in the news or Cosmic Book News. I haven't been on their site for a while either. Coronavirus fears cancels Superman Red Sun NYC premiere. Henry Cavill is rumored to play Wolverine for Captain Marvel 2. Please, God, don't. Anyway. This just came in the NYC, New York City premiere of Superman Red Sun, which, by the way, about that one's kind of dumb. But Warner Brothers decided to cancel the premiere after the coronavirus continues to evolve. Warner Brothers is placing added emphasis on health and welfare of its employees and tenants and fans. To help minimize the risk of exposure, Warner Brothers has opted to cancel the premiere, which was March 16th, 2020. They apologized for it. What's next for... what's next is Warner Brothers going to cancel movie releases such as the Ben Affleck Way Back, which is coming out pretty soon. And stuff. So they did do a favor. They did cancel it, the premiere. Which means, sadly, I am canceling my purchase for Superman Red Sun. I wasn't even going to buy it to begin with. So, I'll be honest with you. I honestly wasn't going to buy it. Disney executives are lobbying to get Johnny Depp to reprise his role in Pirates of the Caribbean. After, I guess, I think they were going to reboot the Pirates film, and I think they were going to get the people who did Deadpool to handle the Pirates film. Then I think they were going to do like a feed Pirates. So, yes. Speaking of Superman Red Sun, it's revealed that Wonder Woman by CBR. That's I hate my computer. There's like I'm just like read the article and it keeps moving. I'm just gonna go to CBR. So anyway, so basically, it's revealed that Wonder Woman, who will appear in Superman Red Sun, the animated adaptation of the graphic novel, be revealed as there is a twist in it. It's revealed that Wonder Woman reveals to Superman that she is a lesbian as Kal-El tries to court her to a dance. It's reported that Diana Prince, who is a diplomat for Themyscira, the voice of the global LGBT, coming from an island of women who the sex doesn't interest her in this Elseworld story. The revelation happens when Superman feels a spark of attraction with Diana during the dance. Goes in for a kiss when he takes her aside. CBR describes how and when the reveal was made. After overthrowing Stalin as the Russian leader, Superman wants to make USSR a beacon for world peace and invites Diana of Themyscira to visit. Her mother, Queen, I forget her name, remains skeptical and doesn't want to leave the Paradise Island, which means she is free to Diana. As they dance, it seems the romance is brewing. But when Superman takes Diana to a balcony for some fresh air, the truth is revealed. Superman attempts to kiss Diana. She gently stops him. He apologizes, but she reveals that she has nothing to be sorry about. As she senses he believes there is a spark between them. However, she admits she lives on an island populated by women, and are only gender that interests her. Stating, quote, I come from an island of all women, Diana says. Work it out yourself. That is like the most SJW thing I've ever read. That is like the most SJW thing I've ever read. I kind of see why this movie I avoided like the coronavirus. Oh shit. I just made a joke. My bad. But anyway. I do apologize. This movie just seems awful. I am not going to see it. The movie is a joke. So if you're going to see it, then it's on you. Me, on the other hand, I am not going to see this movie. I read the comic. A lot of people like it. I just, one of those people like, who cares? But anyway, we're going to be wrapping up the show. I got to hop off here and go do something. I don't know. Who knows? But anyway, we'll be back tomorrow, I guess. I guess. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm kind of one of those people. I kind of want to do the show like once in a great while when I find something that really interests me and I really want to talk about it. But anyway, we'll be back, I guess, tomorrow. We're going to talk about crazy stuff, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, I will see you all tomorrow, I guess. I got a lot of books to read. I got a lot of books to read, a lot of comics to go through. Anyway, yeah. So, anyway, you were amazing. Thank you, love. So, yeah. Anyway, there's another question. What do you think of Henry Cavill as Wolverine for the X-Men MCU stuff? I don't know what to think. I know he wants to come back to play Superman, and I feel like DC is sort of like handling Superman kind of badly. I'm not a Superman fan, so I kind of want to see. I want to see him do another Superman film. I mean, it'd be great to like sort of incorporate his version of Superman with the Robert Pattinson Batman universe. Because I mean, like you would have like an older Superman. Like I think they should just age Superman up in the DC EU, like age him up, just make him like an older Superman who's been around and stuff. Like that's the thing that kind of bothers me is like the CW verse, like they have like the stupid ass version of Superman, which that version of Superman sucks. I am sorry, he's like a pushover and shit. Like I don't really like the CW version of Superman is like the Mr. Mom. Like they made Superman in that CW verse Mr. Mom. Like they don't like he's just a pushover. He takes like all this stuff, and I don't look forward to seeing the Lois and Superman TV series, or Superman and Lois. Like, I really don't. It's like I talked about it before on the show, and I read like synopses of like the idea for it, and it just sounds stupid and stuff. Like Superman's unemployed, Lois Lane is working at the Daily Planet, and Superman has to be at home, be a state, take care of the take care of the kids, the house, and Lois is like the working person in the house. It's like it's kind of dumb. It's like you neutered Clark Kent stuff. So anyway, I mean, it's a dumb show. It's not even on the air. It's dumb. So for me, it's just like I wish they would just age Superman up, just make him older. He's been around. I mean, shit. Like we haven't had a Superman movie since Justice League, and he wasn't even in it that long. Just have it set like years later. Like he's older. He's Superman. And whatever. So anyway, that's the end of the show and stuff. And yeah, I would like to see Brandon Routh play Superman in the TV series. That's probably never going to happen. So anyway, I will see you all tomorrow. We'll be back for. Oh yeah, I'll just talk about one of the comics I read. So anyway, I'll see you all later.